Maharashtra Swami Chief Mohan Bhagwat, while addressing a centenary celebration of the Mahanubhav Ashram in Amravati, Maharashtra on Sunday, spoke out on the issue of persecution and atrocities committed in the name of Dharma. The RSS chief said that such acts are rooted in misunderstanding and lack of true comprehension of the word Dharma. He explained that when Dharma is not properly understood, it leads to adharma, fueling persecution and violence worldwide. He emphasized that Dharma is eternal and governs the world's workings. He asserted that Dharma has always existed and everything works according to it, and that is why it is called Sanatan. Recently, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat also raised concerns about the increasing number of temple-mosque dispute across India. He criticized people who, after construction of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, are now trying to create new controversies in an attempt to portray themselves as leaders of Hindus. Now, this has led to sharp reaction from spiritual leaders. Now, reacting to Bhagwat's statement, Jagadguru Rambhadracharya said, and I quote, "I completely disagree with the speech of Mohan Bhagwat. I do not agree at all. Mohan Bhagwat is not our disciplinarian. We are his disciplinarians." And on your screens right now, Jagadguru Rambhadracharya's comment on what Mohan Bhagwat said vis-a-vis the onslaught of temple-mosque issues that are now cropping up every week. And Swami Avimukteshwaranand Shankaracharya Jyotirmat Peeth also criticized RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat for his politically convenient position on restoring temples. Shankaracharya said, and I quote, "When he wanted power, he went around speaking about temples. Now that he has power, he is advising not to look for temples." My colleague Brijesh Pandey joining us live from the newsroom. Brijesh, it does look like Mohan Bhagwat has reignited the debate around temple-mosque issues once again, but spiritual leaders are not supporting him.
Well, this is not happening for the first time, Shweta. It's like riding a tiger, it's easier to mount on and it's extremely difficult to get off it. This is exactly what is happening to Mohan Bhagwat. If you remember a year back when he spoke about, when he talked about how not to look for mandir under every masjid, this led to a sharp backlash on the social media platforms like X, and all the new hardline Hindutva followers made very, very disparaging remark. It was extremely shocking for many of us who have been following RSS and BJP for a very long time now, that RSS chief, the Sarsang Chalak of RSS, can be subjective to such vitriolic outbursts, and especially that too by the hardline Hindutva brigade. And this is exactly what is happening. Now what is happening is that RSS chief, and he's been consistent, to be fair to him, he's been pretty consistent in that soft line or the madhyam marg, when he's been saying that we should not indulge into or promote any kind of enmity, and we should live together in harmony. And the latest statement is also being seen as a message to the world, saying that that it's a half knowledge of religion which is facing people to indulge into adharma as well as persecution of minorities, hinting at Bangladesh and other places. But this is also an inward gaze, and this is something which has not gone down well with the spiritual leaders. What Rambhadracharya has said, reacted to the latest bite of Mohan Bhagwat, which came. He said that he's not our disciplinarian, we are his disciplinarian, thereby putting the entire speech in a context. And if you look at Swami Avimukteshwaranand, who's a Shankaracharya of Jyotirmat Peeth, he has made it very, very clear that that the statement of Mohan Bhagwat, which he gave a couple of days back, is an exercise in convenience, where he says that when you wanted power at the center, then you went and said that, we want temples to be built, we want, a complete awakening of the Sanatan Dharma and the Hindu Dharma, and there should be no stopping it. And now once you have tasted power, now once you are at the power, now you are backtracking on it. So it brings to my mind, the same kind of attack which Mohan Bhagwat was subjected to, and it's an extremely, interestingly poised debate right now as we speak, because Mohan Bhagwat is adopting a soft line, whereas now his followers or the extended, organizations, they are adopting a very hawkish approach vis-a-vis, the statement of Mohan Bhagwat.
Absolutely. And, Brijesh, as you pointed out, this is an approach that Mohan Bhagwat has been adopting for a while, in a sense trying to change the image of RSS therein, that we are moderate, we care about the minority, we don't want to dig in every temple under every mosque at the same time. People who go on to prosecute minorities don't really understand Dharma. A sort of a pivot that we've been noticing for a while now. It does look like Mohan Bhagwat is hoping for an image makeover of the RSS.
Well, what he's trying to do is that, once you get into power, once you are the government as center, the situation is not as when you were in the opposition, and that is exactly what Mohan Bhagwat is trying to do. He's trying to introduce some sort of course correction with the kind of, a series of litigations that has been filed across Uttar Pradesh, seeking, an ASI survey to ascertain the true nature of the masjid, where they claim that, that a Hindu temple was beneath it, or that Hindu temple was destroyed to build masjid. He wanted to bring a course correction, but that has not gone down well. The interesting part is that, now the followers, or now the, as many in the RSS say, that the new converts, the one who have converted to the hardline Hindutva, they are not pleased with the statement, and the kind of, the statement which is being hurled at Mohan Bhagwat, it looks like, they do have a task at hand, because, somehow, this hawkish, then dovish approach of RSS is not working out well for them, because it is fast turning out to be a soft approach to Hindutva and a very hardline Hindutva. We also saw, when Mohan Bhagwat made that statement a couple of days back, immediately there was a response by UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, though he didn't retaliate to what Mohan Bhagwat was saying, but he was speaking at a function, and he went on to talk about, Aurangzeb, how his progenies are living in the country, and how, people who don't follow Sanatan Dharma are subjected to this kind of curse in this current avatar. So it was very clear that, though RSS chief is trying to propagate a softer version of Hindutva, I think, the harder version is not having any of it, even the statement of the Sarsang Chalak, which is extremely interesting to look out for.
Very interesting developments to look out for. But before I let you go, Brijesh, as you rightly pointed out, hardliner Hindus are not having it easy. They're obviously having a field day and taking a go at what Sarsang Chalak is trying to preach, and that is the softer version of Hindutva. Does it really, does it really have an impact as of today? Because 1 year on, we saw similar statements last year, and as you rightly pointed out, it's like blowing hot and cold. On one hand, you're trying to preach, on the other hand, you're also trying to be moderate. It is going to be a difficult way ahead for Mohan Bhagwat and for the RSS if they really want to change their image.
Well, I think, what is happening is that, that once the gates are open, now they are finding it extremely difficult to contain the flock which has run out of it. And what is the biggest problem is that, on one hand, the entire agitation leading up to the construction of Ram temple, Bhagwat goes on to say that, Hindus have gotten their worship site. But, now majority of people from the religious world and other, hardline Hindutva followers, they are saying, who are you to tell us that Ram is the only temple? They are saying, that we talk about Tridev, which is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and they are saying, what about Shiva? What about his abode in Varanasi? What about Krishna's abode in Mathura? And who are you to tell that one is good and one is good and we have gotten one, so we should leave the other two? I think the real challenge for the which is emerging before Mohan Bhagwat is that his authority stands eroded. Given the kind of backlash that is coming in, not only from the hardline Hindutva, followers, but also from the spiritual world. And I think, and more he tries to strike a reconciliatory tone, the more and more difficult it will find itself, or kind of slightly isolated from the kind of, absolute run which they had in all the other organizations, be it VHIP or Bajrang Dal or any other, Hindu outfits.